Let's just get this out of the way right up front. Building wealth, it is absolutely not a lottery ticket. It's a science. Welcome to this Masterclass Explainer. Today, we're basically stepping into the classroom to dissect the daily, totally proven financial habits that build lasting wealth. As an expert teaching this material, I really want to emphasize that securing your financial future isn't usually about just getting lucky, having a massive inheritance, or even making an exceptionally high income. We are going straight to the data on self-made millionaires to uncover the consistent, intentional choices that literally anyone can adopt. Let's get into it.
Here is our syllabus for today. Module 1, the Wealth Building Foundation. Module 2, the Wealth Growth Engine. Module 3, diversifying your financial life. Module 4, the Master Wealth Mindset. And finally, Module 5, avoiding common financial mistakes. We're mapping out these 5 crucial areas you need to master to finally break that paycheck-to-paycheck cycle and build real independence. Okay, Module 1, the Wealth Building Foundation. We're starting right at the bedrock of wealth creation, your spending and saving habits. Because, well, before you can grow your money, you've got to know how to actually keep it.
Have you ever wondered why some people who make, honestly, incredibly good salaries still struggle financially year after year, while others just consistently build wealth? It's a fascinating question, right? You probably know someone exactly like this. They make a fantastic living, but they always seem totally strapped for cash. The data tells us that simply increasing your income does not automatically lead to wealth. The reason? It actually comes down to a very specific psychological trap. And that trap is lifestyle inflation. It's an absolute wealth destroyer. Basically, the very moment a raise hits the bank account, it's instantly swallowed up. We're talking a new car, a much larger home, luxury vacations, 1,000 expensive subscriptions. Self-made millionaires actively, and I mean aggressively, avoid this. They fundamentally understand that wealth is created by the gap between what you earn and what you spend. To really see this in action, let's look at a stark contrast from our source material. Take Sarah. She earns $80,000 a year and gets a $10,000 raise. Awesome, right? But instead of going out and financing a luxury SUV, she invests most of that raise into diversified index funds. Flash forward 10 years, and her investments have grown massively. Now compare that to her coworker, who gets the exact same 10 grand raise, but uses it to immediately upgrade their apartment and their car. They are still completely dependent on their next paycheck, while Sarah is quietly, steadily building true wealth. So how do you actually ensure you're expanding that gap between earning and spending? Well, millionaires literally reverse the budgeting process. They pay themselves first. The second their income arrives, a portion is automatically transferred into savings or investment accounts, and this happens before any discretionary spending even has a chance to occur. Doing this removes all the emotion from the equation. It turns wealth building into an automatic, totally non-negotiable habit. Honestly, if saving isn't your very first automated bill of the month, your foundation is already cracked. How can you implement this change today? All right, moving on to Module 2, the Wealth Growth Engine. Let's see how that solid foundation we just built actually powers an engine for growing wealth through smart investing and debt management. Now, this next concept shatters a massive myth. A lot of people think successful investors have some sort of crystal ball, like they always know the exact perfect time to buy and sell. But in reality, they focus on consistency over prediction. The pros use dollar cost averaging, or DCA. This is super simple. It just means investing a fixed amount of money at regular intervals, completely ignoring whether the market is up, down, or going totally sideways. It takes the emotional stress right out of it and actually lets you buy more shares when prices happen to be low. Let's look at another case study. John, a software engineer in Texas. He invests $500 every single month into a diversified S&P 500 index fund. Now, when the market takes a dive, his coworkers completely panic. They stop investing entirely out of fear. But John? He relies on consistency. He just keeps going. 5 years later, when the market inevitably recovers, John's portfolio hits incredible new highs because he was essentially buying shares on sale during the bad times. It absolutely proves the golden rule. Time in the market matters so much more than timing the market. But, and this is crucial, your wealth engine will stall instantly if you carry high-interest consumer debt. 22%. That is the massive annual interest rate on a $6,000 credit card balance held by Emily and our source material. Millionaires know that high-interest debt like this is just a wealth destroyer. Thankfully, Emily realized this, stopped paying just the minimums, and completely eliminated that balance in a year. Remember, every single dollar you save on exorbitant interest is a dollar that goes straight back into your wealth growth engine. That brings us to Module 3, diversifying your financial life.
Eliminating bad debt frees up your capital, which lets us take the next step, protecting and building out your cash flow. Relying on just one single paycheck from one single employer is actually a huge risk. Think about it. If you lose that job, your cash flow instantly goes to zero. Self-made millionaires build multiple streams of income to create a literal financial fortress. Take David, for example. He didn't just stop at his full-time project manager salary. He steadily added a dividend stock portfolio, he created an online project management course, and he built up a freelance consulting business. Even if his primary job completely changes, his financial foundation is rock solid. It's worth asking yourself right now, how many streams are flowing into your fortress? Okay, Module 4, the Master Wealth Mindset. Mechanics are obviously important, but how you actually think about money totally dictates your long-term success. Your financial future improves directly in proportion to your financial education. The world is constantly changing, right? Tax laws, technology, the markets, you just have to keep learning. It's fascinating when you realize that Warren Buffett, literally one of the greatest investors in human history, spends a huge chunk of his day just reading annual reports, financial statements, and books. His commitment to lifelong learning is exactly how he spots opportunities that everyone else misses. Compare that to the average habit of spending hours every single day passively scrolling or consuming entertainment. Knowledge compounds, exactly like money does. Another mindset shift. Millionaires don't just say, "Oh, I want to be rich someday." That is a wish, not a plan. Notice how Jessica, a 30-year-old nurse from our data, sets highly specific, measurable steps. She plans to save $20,000 for a down payment in 3 years, invest 15% from retirement, hit a $1 million portfolio by age 55, and generate $5,000 a month in passive income. Having these clear targets guides literally every major money decision she makes. It transforms a vague dream into a highly practical, executable strategy. Furthermore, it's a proven psychological fact that our financial habits are deeply, deeply influenced by our peers. If your circle only talks about buying the latest designer clothes or luxury cars, you're probably going to do the same. But look at Michael from our sources. He joined an investment club just by surrounding himself with financially responsible people who actually talked about books, retirement planning, and entrepreneurship. He dramatically improved his own budgeting and even launched a successful side business. You really have to take a hard look at your circle. Positive financial influences produce positive financial outcomes. Simple as that. Ultimately, a master wealth mindset thinks way beyond just hoarding cash. Highly successful millionaires know that financial success becomes exponentially more meaningful when it actually benefits others. Bill Gates is obviously a prime example here, committing billions to global health and education. And sure, while most of us won't be donating on that colossal scale, the core principle remains exactly the same. True wealth isn't just about a high net worth. It's the combination of having financial security yourself and using that to make a positive impact on your community and the world around you. Finally, Module 5, Avoiding Common Financial Mistakes. This is our absolute defense strategy. While adopting all the good habits we've talked about today is totally vital, you also have to actively play defense against some very specific wealth-destroying traps. We're talking about things like the bear trap of emotional panic selling, the slow drain of waiting way too long to start investing, or the dangerous illusion of trying to get rich quick. These things actively sabotage your financial progress. Failing to keep a solid emergency fund or carrying high-interest credit card debt, those are mistakes that can literally erase years of compounding interest. Playing defense and avoiding these specific pitfalls is honestly just as important as doing the right things in the first place. We're concluding our masterclass today with an incredibly powerful reminder. Becoming a millionaire is almost never the result of one single extraordinary event. It's actually the outcome of thousands of smart decisions, compounded over time. You do not need a massive six-figure salary to start. You just need discipline and you need patience. Wealth isn't some overnight destination. It's a series of intentional daily choices, and your journey begins right now with the very next financial decision you make today. So, what's it going to be?